I'm a big fan of Haruhi because what's not to love? It's got comedy, slice of life, great characters, awesome music, fascism, criminal activities, characters breaking the Geneva Convention, and whatever the fuck Endless 8 was. I'm only joking, Endless 8 wasn't that bad. Before you click off thinking, oh, he's just another stoner, I'm not, because I'm a firm believer in the iceberg theory. Because whether author consciously or subconsciously intended to leave a message behind the surface of their works, there's always one there. And one of the key messages behind Haruhi is how easy the youth can embrace and turn to fascism. Now, for those of you who don't know what fascism is, it's a very structured, far-right authoritarian regime centered around centralized power, in which the interest of the nation or the nation's leader is more important than the interest of the individual. Now, I'm not going to compare the SOS Brigade with the Third Reich or Haruhi with Hitler, but there are some interests. Such is the way in which Haruhi runs the SOS Brigade, with her centralised power, where her interests are so paramount, the interests of the individuals in the club, like Keon and all that, are simply ignored. And Haruhi just doesn't take no as an answer, as she's constantly rejecting a democracy. Now, whether it's in the classroom or in a nation, the rejection of democracy is the first step towards fascism. However, it's not just the rights of the individual that's ignored in a fascist regime, they're completely removed from the equation. The way Haruhi achieves her goals using the SOS Brigade can be compared to militarism and social hierarchical control. This is evident when Haruhi blackmails the computer club using force to control Keon and coercion to control Mikuru to cosplay against her consent. Militarism isn't a material concept. It's a mindset of force and hierarchical control, which is what Haruhi uses all the time. Now, I promised I was going to say this earlier, but here we go. The Nazi Party and many other fascist regimes use uniforms and costumes to project power and unity, which is what Haruhi tends to do a lot. She often dresses up members of the SOS Brigade in costumes, and she's even filmed propaganda in her movie with said costumes. And that's not even all of it, as fascist regimes are typically anti-intellectualism. You could argue that the SOS Brigade, a brigade which chases after ghosts, aliens and aspers, is an anti-intellectual brigade, because if Haruhi hadn't wished them into existence, the supernatural, being a notion rejected by many intellectuals, would have remained the supernatural rather than becoming the new natural. In fact, the irony behind Haruhi's power being that whatever she wishes for comes into reality, the fabric of reality is torn apart, much like if the fruits of fascism are allowed to grow, they'll become poisonous. This fruit of fascism does manage to grow throughout the show, as Haruhi manages to subconsciously control characters like Koizumi through the fear that reality will tear apart, and fascist rules are maintained by fear. Last but not least, the final aspect of fascism that I'm covering for this video is Haruhi's desire for a new order. Many fascist regimes have attempted to mould society into their very own image due to the belief that their current society is flawed. Haruhi's SOS Brigade is just the start of her plan to start a new order which rejects the so-called more boring manner of the world, and this is why she creates closed spaces which threaten the lives of many. This isn't the only dark secret behind Haruhi Suzumiya. I could talk for hours about how on Endless 8 she breaks the Geneva Convention in a psychological torture of Nagano, but I'll try talking about that in another video because I've already spent a lot of time on this one. Thanks for watching, and don't try to solve a fascist regime.
Let's all love Lane. 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 Lane.